Welcome to the #SpeakEasy podcast, getting paid to hit the stage with your host, award-winning speaker and author, Altovise Pelzer.
Hey guys, Altovise Pelzer here, and this particular episode is one where I had an aha moment, and I just needed to come and talk to you guys and say, it's time for you to emerge. And some of you are looking and saying, what does that mean? Show up, arrive, listen, show up on the scene with the gangster lean. I need you guys to show up. It's interesting because with everything that's going on, all the shifts, all the adjustments, the places that have closed, opportunities that have been shut down, I need you to show up like I need you to peacock it. I need you to show all the feathers. One of the things that I'm seeing is that we're going and we're taking advantage of opportunities, but only partially. So, for instance, we're signing up for programs and we're not engaging in networking within the community, not selling our products and services, but I mean actually engaging in networking in the communities. A lot of you are in a bunch of Facebook groups or LinkedIn groups where you're not engaging in the conversation. Or this is a new one that I found, and this is what sparked today's episode, was you're on podcasting platforms, but you're not utilizing the services on the platform. So shout out to PodBean and Spreaker, which is two of the platforms that I'm on. But PodBean for sure is the one that I'm going to be talking about today, because I found some things out today, PodBean, that made me smile. But I love, finding these things out and being able to share it with my podcasting community, with my speaking community. Why? Because guess what? It's time for us to elevate. Guys, it's time for you to emerge. Okay? I don't care what's happened throughout this year. It doesn't mean that you can't show up as your greatest self. And that's what it is. When I say emerge, I want you to show up as your greatest version of you. So people see all of who you are. They can go ahead and tap into what it is that you have for them. And so maybe like a year, 2 years ago, went and made sure that my podcast was on several different platforms. Many of you do the same thing as podcasters. You go and we'll tap into the resources, the distribution piece of marketing by having it on Apple Podcasts and all of these different podcast platforms. Well, I got an email from PodBean, and I was like, I don't even remember if we're on PodBean. But let me check to be sure. But the email was really cool because the email was about live streaming on PodBean. Now, I am someone that when I started my podcast, I started by live streaming. Like, my podcast was not on any official podcasting platform. When I first got a taste of it, we were on Blog Talk Radio, but we were under someone else's platform. But when I did it for myself, I was just going live on Facebook. Literally. So when I saw that message, I said, oh my goodness, this is epic. Why? Because this is what I'm used to. I already go live on social media. I already go live and talk to my clients and do things within my free Facebook group, the #World Voice League on Facebook. So, this is me, right? This is me. That I know it probably didn't sound the way you thought it was going to sound when I sang it. No hard feelings. But I need you to show up. And so when I was on there, I'm looking at PodBean and I'm looking through everything, and I saw that first and foremost, I have an account, but I didn't even claim my podcast. Like, what are you doing, weirdo? So I go ahead, I claim the podcast, and when I claim it, it shows me some other options. Now, shout out to PodBean, because I've never seen this I haven't seen it on any other platform. Other platforms, you have to pay for it. But if you're talking about PodBean and shouting them out, they have opportunities for you to be able to market to the other people on PodBean. Like, I'm butchering it. I'm not going to tell you the whole breakdown of it. You got to go check out PodBean if you have not done so already. But it's an opportunity, and as podcasters, why aren't we talking about the platforms that we're being a part of? And that's where that whole emerge comes in. It's because a lot of times we only talk about a few platforms. Like we talk about the Apple Podcast, people talk about Anchor, but look at all of these opportunities we may be missing out on by not looking and making sure that we're claiming our podcast on the different podcast platforms. Like, not just send your RSS feed to the platform, but are you actually claiming it? So I found out, I did it a while back with another platform where you can go and claim your podcast, and you can claim episodes you've done on other people's podcasts. But I really did this on this particular one and was like blown away because of the opportunities. Of course, they have an opportunity for you to do crowdfunding on PodBean. They have an opportunity, like I said, for you to market yourself if you're talking about them. Like, that is epic. Okay? Epic. So, of course, I have to go in there and probably have to update some things, move some things around, make it all pretty. But are you really showing up? Like, I get it that we want mass exposure, but are you really showing up to the point where if I go to that platform, I'm like, oh yeah, that's her. That's everything that I know about that particular DJ or that particular podcaster. That's everything that I know about that particular speaker. Some of you need to do a Google search of yourself. Real talk. You need to Google you and see how you come up to the person that is Googling your name. See how how other people are going to see your platforms. And some of you need to go through some of your social medias, a tap, hope you're listening, and do some updates. Remove some things, shift some things around, get a new photo in. Some of y'all got a photo up that's like 15 years old. Bruh, you don't even look like that no more. And I mean, we can even do it when it comes to our podcast. Like, I just recently updated my podcast graphic, and I'm absolutely loving the new graphic. And people were like, oh my goodness, this is so much better. Oh my goodness, we love this about it, love that. Guess what? Sometimes you got to refresh and emerge on the scene like, guess who's back? It's been a long time. I shouldn't have left you. Oh, without a dope beat, the step two, a step two, step two, step two, a step two. Okay, I know. Sorry, I was having a flashback. I was literally doing a dance with it, like I wasn't just singing. Thankfully, this is not video, because y'all would be like, okay, yeah, you're a little animated, aren't you? Yeah, just a bit, y'all. Speakeasy podcast listeners, I want you to understand the value that is in you. Like, I don't know what business you may be doing. I don't know if you're just a full-time speaker. I don't know if you're doing it as your side hustle. But I need you to show up authentically, you 100%. Why? Because there's going to be people you connect with. And if you're not showing up authentically you, if you're not showing up 100%, they're only getting a portion of you. Like, you know, we used to say, make the best first impression you can make. Now, granted, guess what? Can I be honest? And I need you to listen, and you might have to turn this up. Sometimes their first encounter with you, it's not even with you. Sometimes their first encounter with you is on a PodBean episode. Maybe it's on a Facebook Live. Maybe sometimes their first opportunity to meet and understand who you are is by reading your book. And so now we got to go back and we got to say, I understand in the beginning we had to bootstrap a lot of things, and it was kind of like, get it done by any means necessary, or it was like, you kind of, Crayola crayon your graphics and, did all types of things just to be able to to make ends meet. You were trying to figure it out, but I need you to move past that now. I need us to really show up. I need you to emerge. In every space that you are in, I need you to emerge. And this is the thing. When I say emerge, I'm not telling you just to emerge, meaning you coming and you talking. Please don't think that emerge means that you got to do a lot of talking. Please understand. It's not about the talking all the time, but are you setting a precedence that your presence is noticed in the atmosphere? I'm going to say it again for those in the cheap seats, those in the back that bought their tickets late. Are you sitting and really looking at yourself and saying, what is the presence that people feel when I step onto their podcast? What is it that people feel when I go to their event and I speak on stage? What is it that when they think of Altovise Pelzer as the speaker, they know on stage I am vibrant, I'm full of energy. They know that on stage I'm going to give you some information that you're going to take away and use ASAP within 24 hours. No, listen. If you're not using it within 24 hours, it's because you chose not to use it, not because it wasn't something good. Okay? So, are you giving a certain vibe when you're on podcast interviews? Every interview I'm on, I'm like, one of the things I ask them is, if it's anything that I can do for you, let me know. If I can do anything for you, let me know. If I can help you in any way. Service. Even on a podcast interview, y'all. That's one of the ways that people know who I am, is I serve. And by my serving, I've put myself in a position to connect with some amazing people all throughout the world. Like, I've been doing podcast interviews for about 3 years now. And when I tell you, I've had some of the most phenomenal entrepreneurs, advocates, speakers, authors on my episodes that have been phenomenal. And people that are 6 and 7 and 8 figure earning entrepreneurs, people that are in the news, people that are like, and I think about it and I'm like, wow, but because I am who I am, I'm setting a precedence. Every time I put my name out there, every time I get on something, every time I'm on a platform, there's a certain precedence that I have to have. And I cannot, I'm not going to show up just to show up. Can we cancel that? You know, we talk about this cancel culture and canceling people and canceling certain things. Can we cancel showing up just to show up? Just to be a face on the flyer? Like, I've found that there's so many entrepreneurs that get stuck in that mode where I'm showing up just to be able to say I was at this person's event. And I've talked about this with my team, with some of my team and some of my clients as well, because at some point you just event hopping. Like, real talk. You just event hopping. You're not really receiving any change by you being at these different events. You're not really tapping into a new network by you being in it. You're not doing any of that because you're not even networking with the people in the community. Again, are you showing up 100%? Many people, no, you're not. Even when it comes to doing an event, do you know the other speakers on the roster? Oh, now that's going to hurt. That just hurt like 5 people. 5 people just got butt hurt right then. I'm so sorry, but I'm not sorry. I need you to learn this lesson. Do you know the other speakers on the roster? Is there a way that you can serve the other speakers on the roster? Do you know some of the attendees? Is there a way that you can connect and collaborate with them or even just talk to them? We get so stuck in just being, I got to show up. I'm here. Well, no, you're here for a purpose. Let people know what the purpose is. Not just that your presence, but let them know the purpose. Oh, come on. Because there's a purpose behind your presence. Each and every time you show up. Now, honestly, everybody ain't going to take this information and run with it. Some of y'all going to listen, and that, that'll probably be the last of the conversation within your mind. But if you're really trying to be successful, I need you to show up 100%. I need you not trying to show up everywhere, but I need when you show up, it to be significant. And so I went and I saw this option on PodBean and I said, man, what other opportunities am I missing out on because I haven't shown up 100% on the platform? What opportunities am I missing out on? Because I have not shown up 100% on the platform. So y'all about to hear a couple different things. I'm about to go and do some research and get some things together, because I think that a lot of times it's just we say we don't have enough time, but no, your time isn't delegated to the right things. So you're like using your time to to create a flyer, and graphics is not even your go-to, but you creating flyers, spending hours on a flyer when you can hand that off to somebody else and use that time to research what matters. You could be really putting some things together for your business and your brand and taking your whole business to a whole nother level. See, it's not just how many things we do. It's the significance of the things that we do for our business that really make a difference. I get it. A lot of people want to put 30 things on their to-do list because they want to be able to say that they did all of these things. You don't get a gold star for doing 20 things. Okay. All right. Okay. The gloves is off. I'm sorry, not sorry. We don't get a gold star for having 50 things on the to-do list. You don't get a gold star for having 9,000 things on your vision board. You don't get a gold star. You don't. You want to know where the recognition comes in? Is when you're doing the significant work. So, for instance, I know with World Voice League, we had a lot going on. We were trying to do all types of stuff with my company, y'all. I mean, all types of stuff. And I was live streaming just about every day, but it wasn't making the impact I wanted to make. When I pulled back and I became a lot more deliberate in the impact that we wanted to make as World Voice League, guess what happened? We were able to serve people during the pandemic. And I mean serve in ways where just we're not recording stuff. We're not videotaping us buying groceries for people and things of that nature. No, we just going and doing it. We going and showing up and giving people what they needed. That's significant. But those are the things that really matter. And when we can tap into those things, especially in some of the communities that you're already a part of, how are you showing up? If you're a podcaster on these podcast platforms, how are you showing up? Have you emerged? If not, now is the perfect time for you to go and do some purging, getting rid of some stuff. Don't wait till January 1st. Like that whole new year, new me, let's cancel that. Start the new you today. So again, shout out to PodBean. Once I found that out, I said, me and PodBean about to be friends. Oh, guys, make sure that you are sharing this out. We appreciate all your feedback and love. We appreciate the conversations. For those of you that are saying, what conversations? Come join the free Facebook community, bit.ly/World Voice Community. It's a free Facebook community where we have conversations. It is a global network. And guess what? We taking it all the way to another level. We are ending the year strong. #finish strong. Why? Because guess what? We have become unmuted and we are not going to hold back. With that being said, Speakeasy Podcast listeners, we appreciate each and every one of you, because without the Speakeasy Podcast, there would be no Speakeasy. Without the listeners, look at me. Without the listeners, there would be no Speakeasy Podcast. So until next time, guys, don't forget to press it out.
Thanks for listening. If you were inspired, leave us a 5-star review, share with a friend, and subscribe.